Stay tuned as we take a look at this Marvel Legends 80 years anniversary stealth suit, Invincible Iron Man. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we're taking a look at this Marvel Legends 80 years anniversary stealth suit inspired Invincible Iron Man. Now, as usual, these 80 year single pack figures are just reissues or repaints of figures that we've seen in the past. And this is a repaint of the Invincible Iron Man we got in the Okoye Build-A-Figure wave at the end of 2017 with that first Black Panther wave. And that was a really nice modern day Iron Man armor. So I actually don't mind the repaint of this figure, as it's a nice figure and you can't have too many Iron Man armors in your collection, as you could build yourself a nice haul of armor. So yeah, this is looking good. I actually read the comic that this is from as well. So I like the blues and the silvers and the blacks. It looks good. On the top there we get a little Iron Man logo. On the side we're getting the stealth suit from the comics. On the back, no wave association, no Build-A-Figure pieces, a single packed Marvel 80 years anniversary figure. But we do get a little bio that reads, Tony Stark modifies his suit for stealth capabilities to take on cybernetically enhanced ninjas. Now, as I said, I do think I've got that comic somewhere if I went through my boxes. But he does come with some different pieces, mainly different hands, so he can do some repulsor blast and use his lightsaber. So yeah, without further ado, let's get him open. So here we have Iron Man out of the packaging, looking very nice with all his accessories around him. So he basically comes with 3 different sets of hands, which I'll show you in a minute. He comes with a lightsaber and then 2 of these blaster effects. Now, we've seen these a million times before, but we've never seen them in this colour. So again, we'll look at them in a minute. But I do like the colour of Iron Man himself. It's sort of like a space grey. Looks metallic, but it's not. It does shine a little bit under the light though. And I like the way that the blue is in all the sculpted detail. Sort of brings out the highlights very nicely. And then even on the back, you can see as well, all the blue is in the lines there. It just looks good. It just works. I understand that it's meant to be a stealth suit, does what it's meant to do. So let's just quickly have a look at these pegging on the feet. Of course they do. It's an Iron Man. So that's nice and simple. You can get your blaster effects. And again, we've not seen them in this color before, but they work for the stealth suit, of course. So if you do have other versions of this, then you'll be able to use them as well. But they plug in at the feet, and then I assume they also plug in at the hand. So he comes with 2 repulsor hands, but the frustrating thing about these are there's no hinge, so it's stuck facing up. So it does work if you sort of want to get him flying. Let me take that one out and plug in the other repulsor hand. So I told you, there's no hinge, so they're always going to be in that sort of facing down position. Now, it works for flying, obviously, because that's how you want to get imposed anyway. If I can get imposed properly, of course. So yeah, it works for flying, and it works for when you're blasting. But it would be nice to sort of have that option of hinge, but there's no hinge there on the wrist. But again, it does what it's meant to do. The other hands he comes with are a set of fists, because Iron Man still likes punching people, of course. So you get repulsor hands, and then you get fisted hands. And again, they work for Iron Man. Looking good. And then the last set of hands are open hand for holding his lightsaber. Now, I don't remember him having the lightsaber in the comic I read, but it is Iron Man after all. So I'm sure if he wanted to build a lightsaber, he could. I'm sure Tony Stark is a fan of Star Wars and whatnot. So there you go. You can hold it in either hand, as you do get 2 open palm hands, one for the left and for the right. But yeah, it sort of looks good. I like the yellow contrasting. And it sort of works, I guess. So if you want Iron Man having a fight, you can definitely do that. We've seen this before. Don't quote me where. If I was going to take an educated guess, I'd say Taskmaster, maybe Udon Taskmaster we've seen this, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below, where have we seen this lightsaber before? And I don't want to see Luke Skywalker or a Jedi, please. Come on now. None of them had a yellow saber, even I know that. But yeah, this guy's looking good. And if you had the previous version of this guy, you know the articulation is really good for a bulky Iron Man. It's sort of a more sleek looking Iron Man as with his modern design anyway. But yeah, it's a really good range for an Iron Man figure. So again, if you want to get him flying, you can get his head all the way up. You can get his repulsor blasts on the feet and get him in a flight stand or something. And you're going to be able to do that, not a problem. Decent ankle pivot there as well. So yeah, get him in a flight stand. He's going to be looking good. Or hide him at the back of your shelf and he can be all stealthy. Before we move on, I wanted to take a close look at the figure again. And again, I can't really tell the colour. Again, it's metallic-y grey, but it works. And again, the blue is in all the sculpted parts of the figure. I really like how it looks in the back because there's more sculpted detail across the spine. So that looks really good. And even on all of the hands, you get some sculpted detail with the blue paint in there. And then on the head, you get different shades of silver amongst the blue. But it looks good with the blue eyes. And then down on the legs, you've even got blue around the knees, which is a nice touch, and on the feet as well. So yeah, looks good. Paint's nice. The blue and grey works well. So there you have the stealth version compared to the original Okoye Build-A-Figure release of Invincible Iron Man in the more classic red and gold. And as you can see, it's the exact same figure, exact same sculpt, but just a different paint job. And I do like them both. I know it's the exact same figure. Hasbro have done that trick again where they've got me to buy the same figure twice. But it's Iron Man. He has different armors. It makes sense. And I like that it's a different cut of the same armor. It's accurate to the comics. So it does make sense doing this. And it looks really, really nice. So obviously this guy come with an unmasked head. This one didn't. But I have it here. So let's try and put it on this. There you go, I think that works really well. The unmasked comic version of Tony Stark on this stealth suit body. The head pops right on there. I'd advise heating it up first, but it pops on there, not a problem. It's the right peg size, and yeah, looks really, really good. And I always like that when you can get an unmasked Tony Stark head, you can always get him holding his helmet under his arm as well. So you get what I'm trying to do. Always nice for the display, and again, Hall of Armors and stuff like that. But yeah, Tony Stark, can't go wrong, can you? And just for a quick classic looking Tony Stark and Iron Man compared to a more modern stealth suit Tony Stark Iron Man. Really like the contrast there, looks good. And here we have Iron Man compared to some of the Avengers he was running around with this time during the comics, with Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Vision, of course. And these guys look nice, so easy to make a decent comic book display. And yeah, these guys look great. So final thoughts, this is a nice Iron Man figure. I'm not going to be one of these guys that buys one of these 80th anniversary figures and then complains it's a repaint. I knew what I was getting when I brought the figure, but it's a nice repaint. And you can't go wrong with adding another Iron Man to your collection. Decent amount of accessories as well, to at least change up the display and posing a little bit. And even me, who's terrible at posing figures, can make this guy look a little bit dynamic on the shelf. So I'm sure if you're an Iron Man fan, you're going to be happy with this guy. And again, he even comes with a bonus lightsaber. But yes, you let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like these Marvel 80-year anniversary figures, or do you just hate that they're repaints? Or do you not mind them? Do you just appreciate what they are and picking and choosing which ones you like? Always curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But as always, people, my name is Dan W. Make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube if that still exists. Hit that subscribe button, or otherwise find me on Vimeo, where you can follow me. It's free to join, just make an account and then follow me and you'll find all my videos there. And if you really want to support the channel, then go and check out my Patreon, and that's the place where if you join, you'll be able to see all my Marvel Legends reviews first. So yeah, you decide how you want to follow me on this journey, but either one is much, much appreciated. And until then, people, my name is Dan W, and I shall see you on the next one.